Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy and welcome to my channel. One of the first games I picked up for my Xbox One was Halo the Master Chief Collection. It contained an Xbox One upgrade to the Xbox 360 Halo Anniversary Collection, which featured upgrades to the original Halo Combat Evolved. Halo the Master Chief Collection also featured Xbox One upgrades to most of the rest of the Halo series. Now normally this would be a great situation to celebrate, but when it came out it was ultra buggy and it required an 18 gigabit patch on installation. You heard me right, 18 gigabits. When your patch sounds like it could send Marty McFly back to the future, your patch is too damn big. And I would like to say that it fixed all the issues, but there are still a few bugs I've encountered in the game. That said, playing through the original game was a truly enjoyable experience on this collection. What I am playing is a remaster of a remake of the original Halo, which I've already said, but just to say it again, you're kind of playing an upgrade to an upgrade, and it's kind of a unique feel. This is the first time I think I've ever done it. Anyways, I remember picking up the original Halo as a download when I first purchased my Xbox 360 about 8 years ago, and all I can say is that I thought it was a bit on the miss side. I'll explain it as we sit down and take a look at the original Halo on the Master Chief Collection. Halo is a sci-fi game that takes place sometime in the far future after man has started to colonize space. Somehow though we managed to tick off a bunch of aliens called the Covenant who have declared war on mankind and want to wipe us all out. Anyways, humans have two things going for them. First, the Covenant hasn't found out where Earth is. Second, they have managed to create a whole bunch of cybernetically enhanced superhumans called Spartans. Now, the Pillar of Autumn is under assault by the Covenant, and on board they have a Spartan called the Master Chief. When the Pillar of Autumn crash lands on a mysterious ring-shaped world, the Master Chief takes possession of the ship's AI Cortana. There they must battle the Covenant for possession of the ring-shaped world, because that is in fact some sort of ancient superweapon that can wipe out all life in the galaxy. And oh yeah, they also managed to release the zombie Borg-like plague called the Flood, and also managed to piss off the ring world's AI in the process. It isn't easy being the Master Chief. The story by and large is okay. There's nothing spectacular about it though. If you know the sci-fi action space marine cliches, you know the story. You know the captain's going to get assimilated by the Flood. You know the chief will probably be the only one to survive. And you know there will be a ton of biblical references. One of the unique things about the games though is the chief's characters. He's a man of few words and he never talks whenever you're in control of him. Whenever you're behind the hood, he's completely silent. He does talk during some of the cutscenes though. And when you are in control of the chief, Cortana will do a lot of yakking, so there is dialogue going on. He's not a completely silent protagonist, but he does come close, allowing the players to fill in the gap.
Captain Keyes.
Good to see you, Master Chief. Things aren't going well. Cortana did her best, but we never really had a chance.
A dozen Covenant superior battleships against a single Halcyon-class cruiser. With those odds, I'm content with 3, make that 4 kills.
The gameplay in Halo Combat Evolved is that of a first-person shooter. Now, Halo did change a lot about the first-person shooter, more so than the N64 GoldenEye and its successor Perfect Dark. Now, while those two games did prove that there was a market for first-person shooters, Halo kinda shown how it was done on the consoles. Okay, for starter, Master Chief is not a walking armory. He may be cybernetically enhanced up the wazoo, but he's not going to be able to carry all the weapons on board the ship in his pocket. In fact, he can only hold 2 weapons at a time, so you have to pick what weapons you want. Tricky whenever you put things like a sniper scope or a rocket launcher weapon you're not going to be using in standard open combat areas of the game. This does add in a certain sense of strategies, and other games like Call of Duty have built upon this formula. Another thing that Halo changed for the first-person shooter genre is the rechargeable shields. The Master Chief has shields that deplete when he gets hit. If he gets hit enough, then his health quickly depletes before he dies. However, if you stay in a safe place where he can't get hit, his shields recharge. Health will be recharged only by medkit, which means you are going to have to forage around for them just a little bit. Now, I like the shield idea because it does save you on the whole foraging for health. Unfortunately, because you still have to forage for health, you got that frustration. And even worse, if you pass through a checkpoint while you're low on health, well, restarting always puts you on that same low health. And there have been times where I've been royally frustrated and angry at the game because I was in a huge firefight without any health. Those times really bite. But still, the idea of rechargeable health has remained within the first-person shooter genre ever since. Now, if you're thinking that having all these shields and health packs will make the game too easy, think again. The enemy AI is really smart. Unlike previous first-person shooters games where the enemy AI would just walk into your gunfire, the enemy AI is really smart. You'll have 2 or 3 different types of enemies per type, and that makes the game real fresh. Some will charge at you in a suicidal attempt to kill you. Others will run away, while others might flank you. Because of the different personality types of the AI, the game is always fresh as you go from one battle to another, which helps because there's really only 3 types of enemies. First, you have your grunts, which are these easy-to-kill foot soldiers, and they're kind of fun to pick on because they have these really high, squeaky voices and are usually somewhat cowardly. The second type of enemy you'll encounter are the elites. They are a lot bigger, they are armored, they take a lot of hits to bring down, but they're usually not too hard. You have to watch out because they usually throw grenades. Then finally you will have the jackal, which are the shield type carrying enemies, and you'll have to either time your shots to where you'll hit them when their shield is away from them because they're firing at you, or find some way to neutralize the shield. They're pretty fun to beat. The only other enemy as far as Covenant goes are these giant hunter enemies, and they are basically your boss fights. Later in the game you will encounter the Flood, which are the zombie type enemies. They're obnoxious, but they're not really that clever. Unlike the Covenant, who try to run away and try to survive, the Flood will keep charging at you until you put them down, and that makes them a threat on their own right because they're always coming at you, but they're not as clever or as fun to fight as the standard Covenant. Now let's talk about the worst part of this game, and while the health pack thing is certainly annoying, it's not the worst part of the game. The worst part about the game is its stage design. Now, not all the stages are bad, some of them are really good. The second stage that introduces us to Halo is really imaginative, plus the stage called the Cartographer is really good. Unfortunately, there are a lot of stages that are bland looking, especially in the original version, and they go on way too long, and they often repeat. Even though the stages are linear in their design, it's really easy to get lost in them, and there is no reward for exploring or getting lost. Oftentimes it's just through dead-end tunnels or just missed paths that lead to nowhere, and they're just there to frustrate the player. To say that this game's frustrating to get around is an understatement. And to make matters worse, Microsoft's launch game for its very first console took cues from Nintendo's launch game on their very first launch system. That's right, Halo Combat Evolved rips off Super Mario Bros. In its worst aspects. The stages repeat themselves. You've heard me right, you will have repeated stages. There's a snow area that repeats. You will repeat the Covenant battleship. And the first area and the last area are pretty much the same freaking map, only a slightly change in wallpaper. And that is it. And to make matters worse, it's never the good stages that repeat themselves. A lot of these repeated stages were stages that you got sick playing through them the first time, and you don't really want to get lost in the same area again, only with harder enemies. It's one of the biggest faults in this game, and it's a great big disappointment. The graphics in the Master Chief Collection version have been greatly improved upon the 360 version, which have redid the whole game to make it look nice. The original game did look kind of bland, especially with the old Xbox graphics. The newer games, both the ones Bungie did like Halo 3 or the 343 remake games, do have a lot more color and variety in them. Unlike the original Xbox one did, they also have a lot more effects and added details to the environment, making the game and the Halo world seem more alive. In this remake, they also greatly improved the character designs of all the characters and enemies. They all look better than the original versions, none more so than Cortana, which they use her Halo 2 design in this one. I remember when my younger brother, who's a major Halo fanboy, saying he had a crush on this character. So I remember when I first playing through the original Xbox version of this game, getting to the bridge where you first saw her, and having this reaction to the character that became so popular, Microsoft renamed its assistant program after her. And that reaction was... Ah! Kill it with fire! Kill it with fire! Yeah, the original Cortana is kind of freaky looking, coming very close to the nightmare-inducing terror that was the Great Fairy in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. But there is a reason for this look. She was originally supposed to go evil when she connected to the Halo circuits in this scene. I even remember asking my brother if she flips out. However, the developers liked her character better than the monitor, so she stayed good and he became the bad guy. And they saved the whole she goes Maverick until another Halo game. Anyway, her new look in the Anniversary collection fits her design for the rest of the series, and while I'm not into blue holograms, I can definitely say this one causes me less nightmares than the original design did. As for the Xbox One improvements, a vastly improved frame rate plus going back and forth between new and old is done instantly without a need for a brief load time. It's hard not to keep hitting the select buttons when you see just the vast changes to the environments. Yeah, the music and the soundtrack is really good in Halo Combat Evolved, and what is really nice is they got some really decent voice acting for this game. Jen Taylor does the voice of Cortana. Now, if you haven't seen my Super Mario Advance and Super Mario Sunshine reviews, I can sum up her voice acting in that game simply by saying I'd rather have my ears torn off by rabid hyenas than listen to her do Princess Peach or Toad again. That said, as Cortana, she's actually pretty good. She sounds normal and her character is serious, but she has a smarmy sense of humor. That said, she's definitely not British.
Sod off.
The rest of the voice acting is pretty solid, but my favorite lines have to go to the grunts. Nothing like beating the heck out of these guys and hear them screaming and running away from you. And the rest of the music has a really cool sci-fi score to it. Alright, let's talk about the online and some of the bugs that are still in the Master Chief Collection. One of the things I found annoying is that Halo Anniversary Collection for the 360 had special rooms you could find with bonus cutscenes if you found these special little symbols that were available in the remake. In the Master Chief Collection, if you access one of these rather than go straight to the video, which should be on the disc or the download, it instead takes you to another program called the Halo channel in order to stream it, or that's how it's supposed to work. I always get these, "You're not qualified to view this video." Screw you! I bought the game. I should be able to view this because I unlocked the content by playing the game. It's buggy and I hate it. Even moving out of the game to view it on this Halo channel is annoying, but then cut me off afterwards, and it's the same thing with the bonus content in Halo 2. I had to go onto YouTube to view these scenes because I can't unlock them in the actual game due to what I assume is a bug. Microsoft, shame on you. You should have just put it in the game. There was no need to do this just to advertise your Halo channel for all those Halo TV series and other bonus crap that I, as just a gamer, could care less about. Anyways, moving on to the actual online gameplay, it's also kind of crappy. Now, the original Anniversary Collection on the 360 used a Halo Reach engine. Basically, it was just Halo Reach with DLC, but I liked Halo Reach's online gameplay at the time, so I didn't mind. Here it's a complete mess. Getting into a game takes a while. And once you play through a game, and I'm not a big fan of the original Halo's maps, but then it wasn't really meant for large online gaming. It was meant for split screen, multiplayer gaming on the couch, because that was what was in at the time. But still, I'm not a big fan of these maps. They're okay, but it's nothing I can live without. But the worst part is rather than just going on to another map in another game right away with the same people, you're always booted out into a new menu, meaning you'll have to select your features again, get back into the lobby, and wait forever again to connect to a new match. This is BS, and the online gameplay is completely broken. Anyways, on to my final recommendation. When it comes to Halo Combat Evolved, I always did consider it a bit of a flawed game and had some really good ideas. It has really great AI. The AI for the enemies is a lot of fun to beat around, and it's challenging. 2 weapons does provide a sense of strategy, and of course the regenerating shields made the game a lot easier in its flow than games where you constantly had to look for health packs. Unfortunately, crappy level design really does undermine this classic from being truly good. I give it about a 3 out of 5. But what about its sequel? Well, let's pop in this baby and find out if they did a good job in the Halo 2 Anniversary Collection, so I will be reviewing that tomorrow. In the meantime, if you feel like it, please click that subscribe button in the corner. I would love to have you as a member of my community. I do game reviews mostly, but I also do editorials and other fun things on my channel, and I would love to have you as a member of my community. This is Tommy, signing out.